right. Hello. Good morning. We have a roadmap roundup and a monthly report to go over. But before we do, I don't know if you guys can see this over here, but in my last video, this was a much lower number. And I do think it got shared around quite a bit in the community. But also, I think a lot of you guys from the YouTube video typed in the comments that you donated. And I really, really appreciate it. A little bit more news on that, just in case you haven't heard it. Community member, Zeus Anoxia, was driving to CitizenCon in 2018, got hit by an 18-wheeler truck, messed him up real bad, and has been dealing with complications ever since that have led to now being paralyzed from the waist down. Lives in Romania, not getting the best health care that he possibly can be, and is now in the hospital because he didn't have a proper bed, got bed sores, got infected, was struggling breathing. So I asked him what he needs, and he told me what he needs and how much it costs. And I made this why donate for him. Now, just to be clear, this is something that he can recover from. I initially thought that maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. And that I wasn't sure if these injuries were from that event or something else. They were. So it all led to this moment. And, all because the guy wanted to go to CitizenCon and hang out with his friends that he made in this community. So I feel the obligation to let you guys know and holy, as much as I can't stand the Star Citizen community sometimes, they always do stuff like this to be like, yeah, maybe we are the best community because none of you know this guy. Very few of you do. And everybody was just willing. There's somebody gave 2,000 euros to somebody they don't know. It's amazing. And we're only 3,000 euros away and we'd be done in just a couple of days. I thought that this would be months long, maybe a year long to try to get him what he needs. And I mean, we're already there for the bed and the respirator, and the rest is just oxygen and in-home care type stuff and antibiotics and all those things that he might need. So yeah, anything would be amazing. So I would appreciate it. But with that said, we got apparently very exciting roadmap roundup and monthly report. Obviously, I think we probably learned what most of the roadmap stuff was through the Bar Citizen leaks that came out and that we talked about in the last video with Jared getting upset about being recorded. And somebody made a comment on that video that was literally God tier, and I feel like I just need to share it because it's funny. I don't care if Jared gets offended because it's basically true. Is Jared gets really offended that he was deceived by a backer, but is totally fine deceiving backers 24/7. So yeah. F5 the QR thingy. Oh, did somebody else donate? Let's see. It may be a little slow to update. So we're at 9,182. So yeah, we're even closer now. Very nice. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. But yeah, so it's pretty funny because he's totally fine deceiving us all the time. So I thought that comment was very, very funny because it's literally his job to kind of fiddle with words and deceive us, which is, it's not his entire job, but it's definitely part of it. All right, let's talk about what we see on the screen here. Space combat missions, defend location. If I'm not mistaken, these are the Headhunter missions that offer the very good guns for ship combat. So you're going to want to do those. You're going to want to learn how to do those because for the Headhunter side, it's the meta guns in the game is my understanding. Alpha 4.9. Siege of Orison, implementing a new operation. It's not new. It's old, unless it's completely redone. Siege of Orison introducing instance FPS gameplay where players assault Ninetales-controlled platforms in coordinated team-based encounters tied to mission-driven progression. That's a lot of words that don't say anything, so we'll have to see with that. Mr. Kraken in chat is saying, these mostly don't work. Way to go, CIG. Keep putting up patches without doing PTUs. You guys are amazing. And I've said this forever, and I'm actually not being sarcastic about that. Stop wasting our time with PTUs. put it on live, have it be broken, and fix it. I think if things are extremely broken on live, I think it forces fixes more often. That's just me. And I also think that we're never going to get anywhere if we spend weeks and months in PTU. Just put it on live. The game is such a disaster anyway. Who cares? Then instancing. Implementing instancing to create closed gameplay spaces with controlled access. Access is managed through instance prerequisites, party leader ownership, and safeguards that prevent or remove ineligible players. Oh, the bugs that are going to happen with this is going to be funny. Super heavy combat armor. Operate a new category of powerful super heavy weapons. This is the thing that you can't heal yourself, is my understanding. Big ass armor. You can't heal yourself. Different guns, things like that. I imagine heavy machine gun thing is part of it. The Apocalypse Arm Vendetta. Implementing a brand new weapon type. Belt fed used with super heavy armor. Cool. Combat clothing, implementing lightly armored apparel designed to offer more stylish look while remaining viable in combat situations. Oh, I hate you guys, because all this is to sell stuff. Wicklow ship offerings, Drake Clipper, don't care. Would like to see the paint, but that's about it. Mission giver, Recco Battaglia. Coordinates logistics for the local independent miners operating from Levski. We'll see what that means. Recco used to have you go and pick up boxes that were out somewhere and they had ore in them, if I remember. They were like recover missions, I believe. All right. Then we have a PU monthly report. And as always, we'll read through everything as much as I feel it's worth it. But it's usually not very worth it. So we'll go here, especially the early parts. Following the launch of F4 AI content team began closing out tasks for 4.9. Alongside the usual bug fixes and ongoing initiatives from the previous months, the team looked into technical fixes to help streamline the process for adding content to the game. Alpha 4.9 patch is going to be a very important one for the narrative design of the game, as the team is contributing to two very large elements that will lay important foundations for developing narrative in the Ultimate 1.0 vision. I mean, this is just instancing, right? Thank you, Frosty. So before we go to that, Frosty is really awesome. One of the mods here that throws up all the images for like the heavy armor and all that stuff. 1 second. So let's put those in the chat for you guys. Oh, wow. That is much less heavy than I thought it would be. I thought it would have been heavier, but it's still like very heavy. I wonder if the backpack is bigger as well. Don't sell it. They'll 100% sell this. This is 100% going to be sold. And that's the weapon, which is, I think, exactly what you would expect it to look like. And then this looks like the combat armor. Wait. Are you fucking serious? This is armor? The John Wick and James Bond shit needs to chill the fuck out. Holy shit. That's so stupid. And then... Oh, wow. Where's Recco now? This is redone completely. And very green. Okay, that's cool. But let's get back to the monthly report then. I just imagine this is all about instancing with the Alpha 4.9 is very important, and AI content has to work within an instance or whatever, right? On the animation side, male to female combat AI assets with additional support for unconscious and bleeding out behaviors. Unconscious and bleeding out. Okay. That's an interesting one. Oh no. Here's what I'm thinking. This is your medical gameplay, guys. Just like refueling, you do medical gameplay with NPCs instead of players. But then this also could mean something for us. Dev also made track views for an upcoming event, restructured how melee attacks are tweaked for NPCs with large attack sets. Okay. Prototypes were then implemented for the Valacar. For example, the team simplifies the setup. I don't see anything else there. But Valacar is still, a big thing that we're waiting for, which is the big worm fight, the proper sandworm animation. Again, Apex Valacar mentioned. Fleshing out additional attacks and animations. Also captured new enter and exit animations for upcoming ships alongside work for a new full body mission giver who will have her own place in the verse. It just sounds like Recco, but so here's what I do know about these monthly reports is these are not written by the community team, by the way. They might be edited a little bit, for spelling and punctuation and things like that. But these are written by the team leads for these teams. So this person who wrote this probably doesn't know that they talked about Recco Battaglia in the monthly report. They didn't know that was coming. Facial animation, which is just, performance capture shoots. No, okay. The teams are excited to see players' reactions for the return of Recco. Never mind. So there's another full body mission giver that is a her somewhere. Okay, cool. So there's two of them then. Because for a lot of people, Recco is going to be brand new too. So that's pretty cool. Ship art. Maze DefenseCon saw many of the ship team's recent projects flyable in the PU. Gatek Raylan passed review. And we should see it very soon. 4 other upcoming vehicles continue development too. First received custom mocap for its enter and exit animations, creating unique challenges due to its scale. That can mean it's too small or it's too big, right? Production on the second kicked off. Small team starting work to white box. So I assume we're all starting to work on ships for IAE, right? Towards the end of the year. Third, continue down the pipeline. Again, just all things where they don't want to say anything. Pre-production picked up on the Anvil Liberator. A lot of people want to know. The Liberator was the ship that a lot of people were interested in because a lot of people wanted to put ships on ships. There's a lot of that now. There's a lot of ships that do that, but not a lot of them do it with a lot of ships. And the Liberator was, I think, fairly cheap for what it could do in terms of other ships that had other, like an Idris, for example, was like 1,500, 1,900, something like that, where an Anvil Liberator was about 500, if I remember. So it was like a third of the price. So I think people saw, hey, I want to, move my Prospector around. 575, there you go. I want to move a Prospector around more efficiently and more easily. I want this kind of be like my base of operations. I think a lot of people were thinking that for smaller ships. And I think that's why people are excited. People like to put ships in ships. So yeah, start of white box scheduled for the end of the month. Cool. So it's just getting going now. As part of this, the team was made to update the interior to allow for quicker entry and exit to the landing pads. Lastly, on the UK side, the Galaxy. So this is IAE stuff that's beginning already. And has been for a while on the Galaxy, probably, where they made the layout around the central docking, hauler, cabs, bridge, lift area. Cool. As mentioned above, the North American team progressed with an unannounced ship, which passed its gray box gate review with flying colors. Following this, the Lot Zero phase began, with the ship coming together following preliminary lighting pass. So that's coming very soon. What do you think this is? Kind of looks Drake. Actually, it looks very Drake. This is just more Kraken. Oh, yeah, there you go. Finally, Drake Kraken continued through its gray box phase. Hero rooms, blah, blah, blah. I wonder if there's a room where we can prevent people from hearing what we say. Oh, my God. What a I can't with that. May ensured their content was ready, so the plasma grenade. All right. Meanwhile, there's just a new larger caliber weapon, which is currently in gray box. Is that what we just saw in the monthly report, or is it something else? We know that there's like a not a pump shotgun, but a whatever this is called, shotgun, or pistol or laser or something. I can't remember. But there's something, yeah, lever action gun. So maybe that's what they're talking about there. Bar Citizen, very nice. Dude, there's like the way. Okay, so every Bar Citizen used to look like this corner over here, right? An old guy, a medium guy, and medium guys with no hair and beards. Now it's like, look at how many wives, women, and then children. Because it's been so long. It's kind of crazy. Economy. They've written a lot of things. Now, they've written lots of things in the past, and many of these things have been fucking useless. And I'm sorry, I rarely try to get mad at specific devs or specific teams. Usually just try to get mad at the marketing team and the people who make decisions on what a priority is, when a patch goes live, why it goes live at this time, so on and so forth. The economy team is either one of two things. Completely in over their head. I guess three things. In over their head, don't care, or ignorant. I'm not sure, because I think things are just really fucked up as far as this game goes and economy. And they're like living in a different world than we are. It could be all of the above. Who knows? But yeah, I think they just live in a different world where they think that they can control everything and don't just dude, just make a fucking market and let us decide the prices. Like, what are we doing? And then you choose the levers of if a price of something is too low, put less of it in the game. If a price of something is too high, put more of it in the game. Done. Alpha 4.8 saw the introduction of two major economy features: ship insurance adjustments and player-crafted items. Consumable prices were also adjusted. And how are these economy things when you can't lose them? Everything about this is I can't lose them. Yes, they're economy things. They cause inflation in the economy. They cause nothing for people to spend their money on. I guess some of you guys have big insurance costs on your ships, potentially. I don't know. I haven't. Consumable prices were also adjusted, and components now have a wider price range, with prices of grade A military components in particularly being adjusted upwards to give more of a sense of progression. The devs also increased the sale price of components so that salvagers can capitalize on any high-tier components they come across. Well, that's nice, but are there any grade A military components that get sold anymore? Rip Saber Raven, 2 months insurance? No, dude. That's not how this works. The only one I can think of is radar. Okay. Got it. The data aggregation pipelines are broadened, resulting in several mission archetypes receiving a balance pass based on player behavior data. Whatever that means. But that's my favorite thing. Is yeah, guys, we put the good stuff, we raise the price of it. And then the only thing is radar. It's come on. Sport Future Economy updates. The team began standardizing the price and volume brackets of crafting resources. They're also working on new ways to make the resource, commodity, and trading systems more intuitive and transparent for players. Okay. This, I don't know what to say. It just feels like they're doing a bunch of work that isn't necessary. If you just went player driven, but they don't want to go player driven, so what are we going to do? I know player driven is the right thing to do, but then I also know it probably isn't if we're going to be split up in a bunch of different servers. So I keep wanting to just let these guys cook, but every time I play a patch, it's it's always the economy is the problem. And it's never good. And I know this is the case of I have to remind myself that we are so very alpha, and there's no reason to have an economy if you don't have features, right? And content. On the shop implementation side, the team supported DefenseCon by setting up new shop items, including commemorative hats, t-shirts, blah, blah, blah. Oh, wow. Thanks. This allowed all the items on display with the expo halls. Wow, guys. Thank you so much, economy team. Lastly, with the introduction of flight suits, a pass was done on some existing shops across the PU to ensure that 2 of them can be purchased. Wow. Thank you so much, guys. Wow. Yeah. How about we do something else other than that? That would be cool. Graphics, VFX program, and Planet Tech. Graph teams focus on optimization, global illumination. Planet Tech made large strides with Genesis as they look to close out the last elements of the core technology and move on to polished performance and stability tasks. Recent works focused on critical technology, GPU. Did we not get the leak that 4.9 Nix 1 from Bar Citizen? Or was that 410? I can't remember, but it sounds like it's getting close. I know it's CIG, but even if servers are individual, the market economy still could be central, which all servers interact with. No, because then you have then you farm on dead servers and sell on busy servers, right? Like it can't be that way. Last month, mission design, Recco Battaglia again. Progress was made on the redesign of an existing event that aims to push the boundaries of what's possible within a single instance. So, saying it like that, it's got to be something other than Siege. The original was designed around combat, but as the game has grown and matured, the team are now able to tap into new methods and gameplay choices. So, again, more puzzles. Jumptown sounds like a really good guess there. What do you guys think? This sounds a lot like Jumptown to me. Something that every PvP focused player has been looking to see what they did here. More theme park, I'm out. Is it theme park to choke point players to an area of value to fight over? Yes and no. Jumptown should not be instance, though. Yes, it should. Yes, it should. Absolutely. But in a different way, maybe. I don't know. Here's what I'm thinking is you ensure, like, remember I was talking about, like, dead servers? You ensure that if you go to Jumptown that you're going to a place that is busy. They might be talking about Xenothreat. That's a really good guess, too. I still want to talk about Jumptown a little bit. Being in its own instance should help, potentially. Performance, PvP, things like that, if you're on your own little server. Same thing with Xeno, of course. But the reason I think an instance would be good is like maybe some sort of a matchmaking situation of ensuring that you're not coming across a dead Jumptown. Because just like I mentioned earlier, people look for dead Jumptowns, people look for dead Hathors, so they don't have to deal with the intention of the location. And yeah. Team also focused on creating faction-focused non-combat gameplay. Elsewhere, Municipal Works is currently going through mission blockouts. All right, so we'll see what that is. That Municipal Works, I think, is 4.10. Narrative is usually not interesting, but brought back a familiar face. Again, could be Recco, could be somebody else. Could literally just be Jared. Narrative team also began a variety of contracts that will bring more gameplay to the verse, not only for upcoming events, but for some expanded evergreen missions as well. Shut up. Nobody reads these things. That's the problem, is the flavor text is really shitty. It's... The flavor text is shitty, number one. Number two, I talked to Elliot about this, and I showed him just like EVE Online missions and how a simple icon of like the item. So for example, like we have like new icons with inventory, right? But like one of the missions was the one that I really wanted to point out to him that I never got was I was doing cargo missions, and I think I've shown this in a React video in the past, but I was doing cargo missions in EVE Online because it's like a good way, cheap, easy, simple, kind of like AFK way to get standing, and standing can like lower your taxes in the major trade hub, right? So it was like worth doing. Imagine reputation mattering in a video game. Like, wow, oh my God, Mike wants to make Star Citizen just like EVE Online. Yeah, oh, horrible. Oh my God, what a terrible thing to ask for. But anyway, on one of the missions, the Caldari are very capitalistic, right? So they have a factory they have a bunch of factories, and I need to move cigarettes to a factory, and it's just an icon of cigarettes that were there. So I never read the flavor text, right? But I saw an icon of cigarettes, and I was like, why am I moving cigarettes? So I looked and I read, and it's like, oh, because these guys are hyper capitalistic, and they're like, there's word of revolt at one of our factories. We're just gonna give them cigarettes and like booze and space hookers or something like that, and then then that will calm the revolting. And it was like, Mike telling the story for the 20th time. I've literally never seen your name type in chat, and you've heard that story before. But like a simple icon is something that like drew me to read the flavor text. Nothing about Star Citizen draws me to read it, but I read that one, and now I read all of them. So I opened EVE Online, got into a Discord call with him, and showed it to him, and was like, just feedback here on like the Moby-Glass stuff was just like, I don't know why, but this made me actually care about the story of the missions, where nothing you guys do makes me care about the story of the missions. So I don't know how you guys feel about it. Do you read the flavor text? Do you feel like you're part of a living, breathing universe? I do not. All the AI feel the same. All the AI act the same. All the AI fly basically the same ships. Yeah. So there's that. Why read? Just listen to Astro ramble for hours. I mean, I do that too. He doesn't know that, but I lurk his channel and listen to lore sometimes. It's a good time. So you guys should check him out if you haven't yet. And then additionally, they created lore for a new harvestable flora, wrote scripts for several new mission providers, including solidifying the narrative of their organizations. Again, this game is dead as far as narrative goes. It's just dead. That's how I feel. It's the narrative within the companies and the ships, very good. The narrative of everything else that's moving around the world that is meant to make the game feel alive is literally dead or on life support. It really is a thing that I struggle with, and I'm not as engaged with. They have been talking about the first iteration of item recovery forever. Kind of disappointing. The maglock system as part of the item recovery feature set. What is this? So now nobody can steal your stuff? You just lock it to only you or something? I don't know. These guys are so cooked. Hanger maglock? You mean like lock things to the floor in your hangar, maybe? Okay. Social chat. Minimum viable product, by the way. So just, guys, everybody, I see this every day. I stream Star Citizen. People are so excited for social updates. Like the old UO lockdown system, maybe? This makes sense. But for everybody who is looking for social features, they literally put MPV here, minimum viable product. So it's going to be a piece of shit for like a long time. It's going to be basically what we have now with a few extra things. Being built to enable in-game text communication between players. We literally already have that. The socialism by lives continue to grow with friends, highlight presence, part of your orgs. Like we already have that. So it's like getting the new one. So yeah, for all the people who think you're getting social features, you're not. For a long time probably, because they're starting out with this and it's taken them this long. So fuck us. There won't be an org system for years. Significant focus in May was to address live game stability issues. Okay. Reliability. Hex, we still don't know what that is. Blueprint data sync. I don't see anything there. R&D is always gas clouds and rays and bullshit like that. No R&D is done on gameplay, so it doesn't really matter. All right. That was the month report. There was nothing there to really sink my teeth in, get excited for. Was there even the gameplay? Where was the gameplay team? There's supposed to be a section where the gameplay team talks about gameplay. They just were on vacation. Yeah, they were on vacation for this one, I guess. It's literally not there. Oh, my God. Okay. I'm not satisfied after that one.